I cleaned it with brake cleaner and compressed air, blew out all the chips. It's nice and clean, and actually went over it with a small file just to make sure that there was no pieces or anything in the way that might disrupt the clutch from sliding in and out. So this is a good tool to use. There we go. As you can see, that slides freely without any grabbing or anything. Because sometimes you'll get some slag that'll form when you drill a hole in aluminum, and it'll catch and it'll get stuck. So anyway, it's done. We'll put this back on. Now, like I said, that washer's still back in there, so we'll throw this back on like that. Nice. And the two washers. So we got one there, and then this one says side out. Put that on there. We got our nut. It's still in decent shape. Actually, the side out logo is actually imprinted on the nut itself, so that was on there pretty tight. Looks like they indexed it too. There, there, and there, so it's like a lock washer. So that's probably why they don't use any Loctite. That's probably why it, once you started spinning it out, it didn't really quite want to go that well. It's spinning on pretty good, and now we've reached some resistance, so that's that lock washer, or sorry, the locking tabs are taken over. So we're gonna crank that on by hand at first, and then we'll use a torque wrench to finish it off. Okay, now I need to dial in 99 foot-pounds. The old torque wrench. It's a Mastercraft. It served me well for a lot of years. So under Newton meters, what was it under Newton meters? Clutch hub nut was 135 Newton meters or 99 foot-pounds. That. All right. Whew. Oh yeah. Let's put it in gear. There we go. Wow. That's on there tight. Try that one more time. There we go. Okay. So you know that's on tight. Okay, we're going to put this back together. Now, this is back in place. And it's oiled, needle bearing followed by the washer on top. It slides right in there. Make sure it's nice and oiled. And you got those two springs. Remember those two springs that were way in the back? We're gonna just review our manual here. And it shows that on the back of the clutch basket, the flat one goes to the face, the other one, the narrow edge goes, the cone edge goes towards the center. So it's obvious which one's the flat one. So we'll throw the flat one in first. next one, you can see there's a definite profile. So we want the first edge to touch to be on the inside. So we'll throw that in. Now we'll stack our plates and steels next. And you'll line up these tangs with the holes here. So there's the first fiber plate, followed by steel plate. Fiber. And steel. So on and so forth. We'll have to line up basically. So we're good there. I'm sure light closes enough, I'm sure they have some reason, maybe it's manufacturing or something. There's one there. Picture. These plates have already been oiled. And if they're brand new, if you're putting new plates on, you want oil to surface because they come dry, and that's not good. You have a bit of oil on, not dripping wet, but just enough that they're saturated or absorbed oil into the plate itself. Okay, here's the second, or here's the last steel going in. Everything's coming together nicely. And here's the last clutch plate. And this one has to go. Every one so far has been lined up down this line. The second last, or the very last one, has to be off by one tooth. There. Don't know why. That's what it says in the manual. Install the friction plate, steel plates. Install the last friction plate A, fitting the tangs in the grooves in the housing shown in the figure. So it's skewed by one. Now we're going to put in this clutch spring plate, and you got to be careful. This guy can go in incorrectly. That one's not fitting. Of all the bastardy, 1 out of 4. You got 1 out of 4 chances of it not fitting. Oh, that's not fitting either. Here. So just keep rotating until that gap is removed, and your clutch now is attached. Okay. Now we can put the springs back in. And we'll just rotate it. Oh, look at that. Just like butter. When it's incorrect, you'll find that these springs, you'll actually have to push to get them for the bolts to go in, but in its right position they just screw in by hand without pushing at all. Okay, that's in. Hello, beautiful wife.
Hi.
Okay. Now we're going to cinch these down in the crisscross pattern. Not all the way. Just slowly. Here. That's why I moved the dial. Close enough. Now we're going to use a torque wrench and specs are 80 inch-pounds or 9 newton meters. So I already have my torque wrench set to 9 newton meters. One, two. Do this in a crisscross fashion, as you do with any bolts like this. And there's another. There we go. Okay. Still got our 2 to 3 millimeters of play there of aligning this pin up. So it should be fairly simple. You just start at this position. Sorry, start about there. And then as you put the cover on, slowly rotate it, and it should latch in to this piece here. It'll just come over with these hooks and just should hook right on there, and you should be okay. I'm going to put some molly on there, so I'll do that, and I'll get back to you when I'm done that.